What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Raft. So, it seemed like people were fairly enthusiastic about me playing the game more. Hold on, I thought there was another shark over there. I thought we had doubled up on shark numbers. I thought that numeral-wise the sharks had increased, but no, it looks like we're good right now. Welcome on back. It's good to see you all. This is only like the 5th episode. I was actually just going to leave it as like a little short look or whatever. But people seem like they like the series, so whatever. I don't really have anything to do right now anyways. Like, all of our series are ending, and I don't really have replacements for them, and I don't really care to find replacements at this point. So, I've got myself in this interesting catch-22 where it's happened to me before in life where I'm just like, yeah, there are things that I should be doing right now. But frankly, for some reason, I just don't care. I just don't care. No dams to give at the moment. You know, they say that the origin of that saying, like the I don't give a damn, is not actually meant to have a swear inside of it. Like, some people suspect that it's from British colonialism in India, because there used to be a coin from those days called a dam, like a D-A-M. And so that was people back in those days being like, oh, I don't give a damn, which was like, I don't give a penny. You know what I mean? Kind of an interesting thing to think about. I love the origins of words. I always thought about just making a channel that was just the origins of words, and we would talk about that, because like 90% of the reading that I do, I don't read very much. I don't read much. But I do read things about, like, I love trivia books and just, like, random things. Like, I just like random bits and pieces of information. I've always... Why does it sound like I think my boat's being chewed on? No, it's not. The shark's right there. He's become a ventriloquist shark. That's a little concerning. I don't know really what I want to do right now. Do I want to build, like, more badass stuff? Do I want to build monuments to my awesomeness here in the middle of the ocean so that inevitably when the first storm strikes, it all just falls over? I don't know. I don't know. I'm a little bit rudderless at the moment. I could build some stairs, though. I mean, stairs are an option. So I wouldn't put the stairs right there. I would put the stair, like, right there so that when you walk down across this way, you can come back around over to this side. And, like, I would put a pillar in maybe... Oh, I don't know. Like, if we've got a pillar, it would have to go, like, right there if we were going to put in a second floor. And then my expectation is that you have to spread it out kind of like that right there. But that would block the walkway. Oh, that's all kinds of irritating. I don't like that for a second. Ew. Well, maybe I should scoot that in by one right there then. That's what I think. Maybe I should scoot that in. I love the fact that you can actually destroy stuff. Like, I totally did not expect that to work. When I first started playing the game, this isn't even like a real game. That's what you need to realize. The developers are like, yeah, this was just like a test project for me. Like, it's just something that they were fiddling around with. Like, this was never meant to be, like, published or end up on the internet or anything like that. That was kind of like one of those... If you're not in the industry, if you're not, like, in gaming or whatever, there will be these things called, like, jams, essentially, where you have, like, 5 days to make a game or whatever. This game was kind of like that as far as I understand it, where the developers never meant for it to be, like, published or be, like, a thing. And then a bunch of YouTubers started playing it, and a goddamn shark started chewing on my base. Get out of here. Get out of here, Douglas. Douglas number 5 or Douglas number 6 or whichever Douglas you are. Either way, the numerations of Douglases have gone up considerably. Considerably. That was apparently, my grandmother traced my lineage back to, like, Scotland or something like that. And apparently that's our clan. I had no idea. We are apparently the Douglases. And I'm like, alright, that's not our last name, so that's kind of odd, but I guess alliances or something? I don't really know. I suppose I could finish putting in the floor, but I kind of like how I have, like, these little spaces in the water. Like, they make me happy. Look how fast that shark tries to turn on you. When you get in the water, I'm gonna get this dude. I'm gonna get this... Yup. About to get it, Sharky. About to get it. So you just got to use your body as a booby trap. That's the big secret. I got coconuts over here. I was going to say, my character seems like he might be kind of hungry. He, she, it, whatever we are, might be kind of hungry. And I should probably deal with that before this gets any worse. Pick up some of that drinkable water. Throw that shit up in the tank. And then we got a little bit of shark meat right there. Yeah, I don't know. I've been feeling particularly unmotivated lately about YouTube-related stuff. I think, like, with any endeavor, you come across a point where you're like, yeah, I think I'm all right now. Like, I think I'm okay with the way things are. So I'm going to put that floor in right there. But you don't feel, like, particularly inspired to, like, go further or do better. You're like, yeah, I will come to this point, and we shall go no further. This point is fine. I'm going to put down a pillar right here. I bet the pillar right there would be perfectly fine. Like, I bet that harms nobody if I put a pillar in right there. Like, it throws off the balance of what we got going on a little bit, but it's not that bad. So I put in a floor light. What's sad is that the building system in this game works better than the building system in, like, a ton of, like, actually released games on Steam. Like, I play a lot of survival crafting games, and it's kind of funny to me, like, how well this game does when stacked up against, like, actual releases that they charge $20 for. Like, this is not much of a game. Let's be super clear. There's not a whole lot of game here unless you really, really enjoy just, like, aimlessly building stuff. If you enjoy aimlessly building stuff, this game does fantastically at that, and that's probably why so many people are so fascinated with it. But if you compare it to other Steam games like Stranded Deep, released with way less content, it was basically like sail in between islands until you've collected, like, all of the random stuff, slap the engine on the boat, and then that's basically all that there is to do. Now, I don't know exactly what I'm doing with this, by the way. I don't know what the whole form and function was of this thing that I'm doing. I'm going to put another pillar over here, though. I'm totally gonna. Yep, it's gonna happen. It has to happen. If I don't do it, I'll hate myself. And frankly, I kind of always alternate between, like, several degrees of self-loathing. And so I feel... Oh, it won't let you double up on corners, though. Ew. Okay, we found the flaw. We found the flaw. I mean, technically, if I scooted that over to there, then I could move that. I mean, we might be able to make it work, but I'm going to have to tear this down either way. I don't like it. I don't like it, but I'm going to tear it down. Gonna have to tear it down a little bit, because if the diagonals don't connect, it's going to drive me crazy, and I'm going to hate it. I am going to hate it. The Kinect. What a terrible invention. Just thinking about the Kinect for the Xbox 360. I have one. I swear to God. I swear to God, my wife was so stoked about that Kinect. She played with it one time. One time. Worst Christmas present ever. I was like, you know what my wife has been talking about? She wants, like, this Kinect. She's super stoked about it. It seems like this thing that's going to be super fun. And then, like, I got her that and, like, a whole bunch of the dancing games and stuff. And it was like, yeah, let's do this thing. I mean, I wasn't going to play it. That's not my jam. Like, it's not a thing that I'm into. Dancing in the living room seductively. I mean, I can definitely financially support that. Sounds good to me. Oh, man, my cocoa nut. Oh, it's because we're out of, like, everything right now. Okay. Well, here, I'm going to throw you off a cliff then. Go away. I have a ton of rope material. So my suggestion would be that we just craft up a whole bunch of ropes, because I never have enough ropes for anything. And that freed up a couple of slots. No! No! Double no! No on top of no! A no-no, if you will. Get out of here, shark. Wow, I only had to stab his ass like one time. He must have an especially sensitive ass. This Douglas has a very sensitive ass. A very, very sensitive ass. Shark meat. Yay. I like to think most people have a sensitive ass, though. That's an area that's not incredibly well designed with regards to armoring and protection. It's just, it's a glaring weak spot. And what's funny is if you think, well, it's not really funny, but if you think about it, the asshole, like, I've had a number of animals that have gotten in, like, serious fights. Like pets that have gotten, like, into fisticuffs that have not worked out. Like, for example, I had this super hardcore cat when I was growing up. Like, this cat was a G. Like, this cat would fight anything. Like, this cat, we lived out in the country for, like, 6 months. And there would be deer and, like, turkeys. And this cat would fight anything. It didn't care. It would walk up on deer and just be like, hey, what are you doing? And the deer would be like, what the shit is this squirrel doing? Like, I've never seen this occur before. And the cat would be like, you better walk away. And they would. They totally would. Like, I'm not exaggerating right now. This cat used to run off large animals and just not give a damn and just be like, that's right, bitch. You heard what I said. Like, this cat was super hardcore. But what I've noticed is that when animals get in fights and they lose, the asshole always gets ripped out of them. Like, their butthole is always hanging out. At least that's how it's always worked for me. That's how it's always worked for me. I'm going to put in some stairs. And I noticed one of my big requests was that people just wanted me to build, like, a stairway to heaven. Bing, ding, 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 bing, ding, ding, bing, bing, ding, ding. It's an overrated song. All right, so, yeah, I'm going to get some hate mail on that one, but it's okay. Led Zeppelin is criminally overrated. Criminally overrated. All old music is overrated. Like, kids, be wary. Throughout your life, people are always going to be like, oh, you need to be into this classic band. That's bullshit. All classic bands are overrated by a ridiculous margin. The only reason they were so successful is because they were the first ones past the post. That's it. Never let people convince you otherwise. Music today is perfectly fine. I'm getting older, but I still haven't fallen into that pit of despair that old people seem to fall into where they're like, everything from the generations after mine sucks. Music is fine. It's doing perfectly well. It's not falling apart at all. And there's no expectation for it to do so ever. Now, the thing I run into here is that I think we're going to... Oh, man, I'm thirsty. There we go. But yeah, that's one of those things that drives me crazy about life. People just being like, oh, you got to like this thing from back in the day. Oh, my God, fish. They used a PH in their name. Like, forget fish. Nobody cares about fish. If you want to listen to modern music, listen to modern music. It's perfectly fine. In fact, it's natural. It's a good thing. If everybody got hung up listening to the Rolling Stones, music would never advance. There we go. Bring that back over to here. And frankly, I feel like we're losing... I feel like I'm losing a little bit, and I don't know what the function of this tower is going to be. Like, I'm going to do something with it. Like, believe me, we're going to do something with this tower. Like, this tower is going to... It's going to make us a better person. At the end of the day, it really, really will, I think. Also, we got to use up all these building materials that are just, like, stacking up and going nowhere. There we go. We're not losing ground. Although I suppose I could do this a little better. Am I going to hit my head right there? Yeah, I'll hit my head on that one, and I won't be able to walk past it. But I should be able to... I don't like what I've done on that first layer. Like, I see what I've done, but that doesn't mean I have to like what I've done. I also feel like walling would probably be adequate. Like in some of these spots, like it would probably even be advised. Just to make it look a little nicer. Like I can't put a wall right there, but I want my tower to be covered in the case that like a shark attack happens, you know. I feel like I should be allowed to put a wall right there. I feel like that should be super allowed. That shark is coming back in. He's coming back in. Now we find out if there's fall damage. He's coming back in. We got to repel him. Repel borders on the left-hand side. Chap with the shark. He's going to die soon. Somebody gots to die, like Biggie said. Sometimes they just gots to go. Sure, I will take all this extra material with me because why not? We needed to build stuff. But yeah, my cat was hardcore. My cat was always fighting stuff. She almost died like 6 times. Like she was constantly going to the vet for like fighting with stuff. And she was fixed. She was just super hardcore. She was super, super hardcore. Like, just could not back down from a challenge. She fought like 4 raccoons at the same time. Came out of that one a little bit worse for wear. She was basically a robo-cat after she came out of that one. The doctors had to reconstruct her, essentially. And she didn't seem fazed by it at all. Like, a week later, she was already walking around with, like, her prosthetics and shit, just, like, patrolling the yard again, just being like, I'm hella hardcore. Just like you can't take the thug life out of that cat. You just can't. She walked down the street just like yada-da-da-da all day, every day. My mom used to lecture the cat. No lie, my mom used to sit there with her, and the cat would be purring and sitting on her lap. My mom would be like, you gotta live right, you know? You just gotta stop these things. Like, why do you always have to fight everything? Like, why is that always the first thing that comes to mind is that you gotta fight everything? The cat would sit there and purr and have like that happy cat look on its face. All the while you knew the cat was gonna go outside the next day and get in like another fight. Every time. Every time. Just could not walk away. Although what's funny, my dad used to bitch and moan about that cat all the time. My dad used to always just be like, man, that cat's trouble. He used to talk trash about her all the time. But once she died, like she actually passed away from kidney failure. She died of natural causes in the end. She didn't die from fighting. She died of natural causes. But yeah, after she died of natural causes and kidney failure, it was funny, like the week after she died, my parents, they live on like 7 acres now. Not a lot of land, but enough land considering it's in the middle of town. Like their house is actually like in the middle. It's weird. It's at one point it would have been considered like unincorporated territory because the town is growing so fast. It's just like this area that never got developed. And so my parents bought it like right around the time I graduated from high school and moved out. And it's like this 8-acre just like chunk of grass It looks like a farm in the middle of town. It's weird. The only time I've ever seen anything like that is I saw a place like that in Burbank one time, where like in the middle of Burbank there was just like a horse ranch, and it was like, oh, for like 2 blocks it just seemed like you were in a rural area, and then all of a sudden you're back to houses and buildings and stuff. It's kind of like that. It's an old horse ranch from back in the day, although it used to be owned by a mob bookie, weirdly enough. Used to be owned by a mob bookie. It's weird the stuff you learn about the house. That's what the realtor said anyways. Like, oh yeah, the previous owner was a bookmaker. Not sure who they were affiliated with or whatever, but they were an illegal bookmaker. And then like they folded up the business after a while and like started flying straight. And like that was that. Like they weren't a bookmaker anymore. Like, oh. So I guess the mob part might be a little bit exaggerated, but it makes the story better. Don't you think? Don't you think, though? Doesn't it make the story a little bit better? I feel like it makes the story a little bit better. I may add a hallway right here, too. At this point, we're just free building. This series has turned into Let's Free Build with Splattercat. That's pretty much it. They've given me a sandbox. I really don't have anything else to do on the channel, so it's like, yeah, sure. Why not? Let's free build for a while. Oh, I got raw potatoes. You guys have been, like, up my booty hole for a bit to do this, so I'm going to do it just to show you that I have read the comments, and I do understand your chagrin. Oh, your chagrin. There we go. Oh, look at that. I can plant a potato. Several potatoes, and I don't know how many potatoes I'm going to get out of that, but I assume it'll be a reasonable amount. It's time for us to throw our trash in the ocean. Take that, Shamu. You floppy-finned bastard. That's what you get. How about you put some rigidity in that fin and you'll start getting some respect. I'll go... What do I need the ropes for? Like, I feel like I needed ropes all the time. And now that I have the ropes, I can't recall what I needed them for. Probably for nets. Probably for nets. There we go. So we've actually finished off our little catch-all on this side, although I don't even think debris comes this far out. It seems as though the debris is fairly limited as far as, look at that, the walls have like a little cloth shake to them as well. A little bit of milkshake. Okay. Let me check my traps real fast and make sure those are working, although I really kind of feel like installing some of these was a mistake. Perfect. Couple more planks, a few more things to work with. I don't actually have that much wood right now, though, so we're probably going to have to wait that one out. As an event, if they are going to finish developing the game, if they're actually going to turn it into a real game, I guess finish developing is not the proper term. If they are going to decide to make this into a real game, they should add traders, they should add pirates, they should add all kinds of stuff. The ability to build, like, guns and stuff from the scraps that are laying around. I don't know, turn it into, like, a crazy tower defense thing. That's basically what it is already with the shark. You might as well. It just seems like it would be entertaining to me, so there it is. Our wood supply has come full circle. Perfect. And then, where did all of my cocoa nuts? No! All of the nuts del coco are gone. I think they either fell through the floor, or I don't know what happened to them, but they're gone now. Oh, you little son of a bitch. Oh, that rat bastard. He hit me where I was structurally weakest. He looked at the construction of my base and he cut me off from my food supply. Little prick is smarter than he looks. Man. The things you don't expect from nature. Damn, nature, you scary. This shark's got brains. We gotta deal with this shark. This Douglas got to go. This Douglas got to die. And now I gotta put my foundation back in. And also build more stairs. Come on to you, Douglas. The universe's only wood-eating shark. I don't know if that like posits like a evolution of the species, perhaps. Or if he's just really, really hungry and doesn't know what to do with himself. I gotta make sure I'm still planting these seeds because the trees are actually one of the main supplies of wood that I have going for me right now. And so if I can't, can you put nets on top of nets? You can? Oh. I didn't expect that. I don't know if I want this to be like a little... See, we still have stuff going this way. So maybe I'll just extend this net out a little bit further. I mean, I need to increase the amount of fun stuff that we have. So yeah, that looks like that'll be the catch-all for everything else too. And now I think we've basically maximized our chances of getting all the things we need over time. And considering that's the major stopgap in gameplay anyways. I have the power to fix this. So I'm gonna. However, where did all of my cups go? They got dropped, didn't they? I bet they got dropped because my inventory was full. Shit on my face holes, all of them, several face holes, all getting shit on. Alright, so we'll throw that out right there because we don't need it anymore. Off the side of the boat. Maybe that's why the shark is so angry with us, is because we keep littering in his ocean. He's just a gentle, toothy giant that just wants us to stop shitting in his lake. There we go. Give me your agua. All of your agua is now my agua. Here he is right there. I'm going to hook myself a shark. Here we go. Wah! You know, I was gonna make fun of that throw, but honestly it wasn't that pitiful considering it's like a giant steel hook. Like, I bet that thing is actually pretty weighty, although given the shape of it, I bet you get a good whip on it. Like, you could flick it real good when you throw it, I bet. Are these ready to go? They are. Good. Well, then let's resupply ourselves. Now, I'm going to do what I would presumably not advise you to do if you were actually trying to get coconuts off of a tree. I'm going to look downwards while I bait this tree. Oh, you son of a bitch. Every time I get busy. Every time I get busy. Well, I'm going to stab this shark. And for now, we're out of time for the day. This game is called Raft. I have murdered yet another shark. I have killed so many of the shark. The shark hath been murdered. But we don't really need any of his supplies or anything, so it's like, okay. Sorry about that, shark. I just wanted you to stop up, and already he's reinforcing. I guess we'll do a couple more episodes. We'll keep working on our ridiculous tower here and, like, see what happens, because people said something special happens. I bet the game just crashes or something. Or maybe I can jump off of it into the water and we'll do something fun. I'll see y'all next time. Thanks for stopping on in for Raft. Bye, everybody.